Beautiful. We're gonna be switching colors once again. Probably gonna be using blue for Ganji. We're just going to leave Capoch in red. Team Ganji, 100%. Ganji is my favorite. Alright. Ganji beat Jordan, so I'm cheering for him instead. Alright. Alright. What is this? Get out of here, Age of Empires. Okay. We have a little bit of pressure coming up. Ganji's already taking a little bit of damage. But then at the same time, he actually was able to chunk some HP off Capoch's scout. So it's not too bad. I've beaten Ganji before, so this helps my ego. Alright. So far, not a lot of action. We see already an archer range coming up for Capoch. He's playing Chinese, so he's decided to go for archers. Could have gone for scouts, but decided to go for archers. Ganji on the left-hand side is going to go for scouts instead. He already has a third scout queued up, and Capoch should be able to defend himself. He's got spearmen already out as well. He's got one at the very least and one more queued up. And we'll see. We might see a villager go down over there, though, and that is so close! One more and doink! Ganji gets the first kill over here with the villager going down from Capoch. Basically underneath the TC. He does end up losing the scout, but because he already had extra scouts, that's not going to be a problem. If it was the only scout, that probably would not have been worth it, but now with the extra scouts out in the open, it's gonna be fine. He can keep on scouting, he can keep on fighting, he can keep on putting aggression, so... It's already a very strong start for Ganji. Could have been kind of rougher over there. He almost misses his window of doinking the villager. But he managed to do it. Ganji's macro is great. He's looking pretty strong already. Yeah. Predictions are still on for about 3 minutes. Or 2 minutes and 50 seconds or so. Looking a little bit more favorable for Capoch. We'll see. Ganji might end up getting yet another villager over here, though. Capoch cannot time the walls properly, unfortunately, for him. And that's going to be the second villager kill. And we might see a third villager kill over here. Let's see if Ganji's paying attention. It doesn't seem like he's paying attention. Now he's going after the villager. That's going to be the third villager lost. If Capoch does not pay attention over here, he is going to pay attention, though, and bring the villager right back to the TC. But Ganji, sending the scout forward to try and block the villager, gets the third pick without losing almost any HP on the scouts over here. Plus, he's got more scouts coming over, and now he's going to start adding archers into the mix. So Ganji's pressure over here has been great so far. And Capoch seems to just be trying to save the resources to go after the castle age instead. Seems to be playing a little bit more greedy. Ganji 30 francs picker confirmed. You know, I'm liking Chinese better in this matchup, but that's going to be in the later stages of the game. Early on, it can be really good for Ganji, especially in the castle age. After your free farm upgrades actually start paying off, that's going to be better for him. But right now, Capoch will be the first one to click out to the castle age. And we see the quick balls coming up over here. The quick ball attempts anyway from Capoch. There are two spearmen over here, and Ganji is gonna try and commit to the spearmen. So he's going after them. He's getting one down. He's going after the archers. He still has his own archer over here. And with 3 scouts over here to work with, he might end up getting the archers down. Plus, he's got the villager over here with low HP to potentially target, but he's not going after the villager. So he ends up getting pushed away from here. I probably would have preferred for Ganji to try and target the villagers instead. Might have been able to get 1 or 2 villagers. Instead, he does end up losing most of the scouts over there for almost nothing. It's been pretty expensive for him to keep on producing scouts as well. He's, compared to Capoch, not particularly close from getting to the castle age himself. Capoch instead is going to be there very soon. He's been collecting stone, actually gold quite heavily, not stone. And right now he's got only 1 archer range, so it's not quite clear that he's gonna be going necessarily for full archery. And now he's adding a stable into the mix, so we're probably going to see knights instead. He's going for fletching. It's just going to upgrade the archers that he's got available right now, but it doesn't seem to me that he'll be going for much more than that. Beautiful. 20 seconds. Capoch is gonna be getting access to Crossman, blocking arrow. Plus, he manages to get the stable up already, so he could potentially go for bloodlines. There is a second stable coming in now that Ganji's got vision of. And there we go. Capoch gets to the Castle Age. Right away, blocking arrow coming in. Yes, sir. We're gonna see the Crossman upgrade on the way as well. Yeah, crosses are going to be rough on Ganji for sure, but the blue players finally get enough resources to click up to the Castle Age himself. Mind you, he did manage to get 3 extra villagers, right? Or 3 villager picks over here against Capoch. And he got a 9 villager lead over here. Getting to the Castle Age is going to take about 6 villagers worth of TC working time. So, by the time he gets up, it's going to be still 3 extra villagers for him or so. Despite him getting a little bit of extra idle TC time compared to Capoch. It's pretty good if you ask me. Bloodline's already up for Capoch. Scale bar the numbers coming in and second TC is on the way. And this I like, because once again Capoch is going to have a stronger civilization, is going to have a better matchup the longer the game goes. So playing for economy right now is going to pay off in the future, and he's taking advantage of the fact that he's gone out to the Castle Age sooner to guarantee getting a hit in economy. If he had just waited until Ganji got to the Castle Age to get the second TC out, there was a risk that Ganji could account for the extra TCs himself, and then it was going to be the same, right? So Capoch now, at the very least, should be able to catch up in any case, and maybe he'll be able to surpass Ganji before Ganji manages to get any extra TCs himself, and he's able to keep up with villager production. I'm very curious, given the current situation of things. The 2 markets coming up over here for Ganji as he's just trying to quick roll. I'm very curious about the situations for gather economy time. Let's see. It's higher for Ganji by quite a bit, and it makes sense. Capoch cannot really do much. Yeah. So he's just going to get out of here. He's got the 3rd TC on the way though, which once again I like. I like Capoch playing for economy. Ganji on the other hand, he's getting to the Castle Age so much later. He's gotta respect Capoch over here and get some scouting done. If he sends a scout forward, he realizes about the second TC at the very least. He should know that he'll be falling behind the villager count, so his reaction should be full military production, full push. It's gonna be rough though. It's coming in, it's got some crossbows. That's as high as these units are going to get for the Frank player, of course. They do not really scale too well. And by too well, I mean they don't scale at all in the Imperial Age. But yeah. Well, there's 6 coming in now for Ganji as well. Yeah, and that's the way to go. Full on pressure. His production is really low though. Only 1 stable producing knights for a little bit. Now he's just going for 1 villager. He's got 13 crosses left. Meanwhile, Capoch, well, Capoch's got 15 crosses on his own right. So it's good. There we are. Yeah, pretty good unit control for Ganji. He does end up getting a bunch of these crosses down from Capoch, but Capoch's got the hill advantage over here, ballistics himself, and he ends up cleaning up most of the crossbows from Ganji. So at this point in time, the KD is very similar for both players. However, Eco KD is still significantly higher for Ganji. That's allowed him to keep up with villager count despite the fact that he's behind by 2 TCs. Plus also, there's also the fact that Capoch's got a lot of idle TC time, so he's not really working his 3 TCs all the time. Regardless though, Capoch's defense has been pretty good. He should be able to start getting ahead in villager count from this point onwards, as Ganji does get the second TC out though. He's still behind by 1 TC. He's got some knights coming out. He's gonna start producing military units a little bit more right now. 12 crossbows. And Capoch instead will... Capoch, he doesn't really have vision of what Ganji's coming with, but he's going to have already all the defenses in place for what Ganji's been pushing with, which is the same, basically, crossbows and knights. So Capoch's got a good amount of crossbows himself right now. Would probably like for him to go for a monastery, actually. He's not going for it just yet. Good snipe from Ganji. 2 more villagers going down. 11-2 eco KD. Capoch is ahead by 4 villagers because of the extra TC, but many of those extra resources spent into extra villagers have not really paid off at all. So Ganji's still looking good. Let's actually take a look at gather economy time, and Ganji's still ahead by about 23 minutes or so, which is going to be about 400 resources. So that's really good, because not only is Ganji getting extra resources, but also he has spent fewer resources into his own economy. Capoch ended up losing 10 extra villagers compared to Ganji, which is going to be 500 resources down the drain before the villagers can pay off for themselves. So Ganji's position over here is still pretty respectable. He does end up getting a 30C up in the north as well, so now at the very least he should be able to keep up with villager production compared to Capoch. And if he's able to find a few villagers over here as well, then he'll be able to catch up to Capoch in villager count as well. So here comes Ganji. He's got knights, he's got crossbows. He is kind of committed though. If he doesn't commit to this, he's going to end up getting cleaned up. He cannot turn around. He must go and try and utilize the archers over here to get villagers, try to utilize the knights to get villagers. And he does end up getting 1 over there. He does end up getting a few villagers total. Let me take a look at the crosses over here. Yeah. They've managed to get some villagers. And the villager lead for Capoch now has gone down to only 3 extra villagers, which is not bad. Especially when you keep in mind the fact that Ganji has wheelbarrow, which Capoch doesn't, so it's basically the same economy right now for both players. Incredible. Hirsa going in was a mistake. He was kind of screwed. He overextended just by coming in the first place, because then the crosses from Capoch were coming in from behind and he couldn't go back anymore. So it was kind of a guess. He didn't know about the archers from Capoch. So I guess it was okay for him to try and do damage. It was just not the best position, unfortunately, now that he had vision up. But it was good in the end. Capoch does end up cleaning that up. Now there's a 4 TC coming out for Capoch. And while Ganji is just sticking to 3 TCs, only 1 villager behind compared to Capoch. But he doesn't have any other villagers though. Capoch's got 20 other villagers right now. Nice pressure. Beautiful. Sneak crossbows. It's got 2. Yeah, sneaky crosses over there still, and we might see this CC go down actually from Capoch very soon. Fortunately for him, he does have 4 TC, so if he loses this one, he'll still be on 3. Nice snipes over there though, the Mountain Elk going down, and there's a great shot. Loses both Mountain Hills, but doesn't end up taking a bunch of the crosses down. And this is not something that I am a big fan of. I think Capoch is going to clean this up, and Ganji's got a bail from here, so he will. Nice. Pathing was hideous. Not the last that you'll see from the pathing for sure. Capoch sending a bunch of villagers forth. He's been collecting stones, so we're gonna see a castle drop coming up. Very interesting. Once again, Capoch kind of wants to play this one for the later stages, and Ganji, on the other hand, yeah, Ganji's gonna be in a little bit of a rougher spot if the game goes on much longer than this. So let's check. Capoch's castle should be coming up. And Ganji does have some knights doing damage over here. This really reminds me of the first set that we saw, the first game, especially Nika versus CCM, doing so well, getting so much damage done in the early stages. Of the series, right? In the first game, just getting much more bang for the buck for every time that he tried to raid. So Ganji does end up getting a few villagers over there, and Capoch is going to be behind now compared to Ganji in worker count. However, Ganji does end up getting the castle up forward, and he still holds on to a pretty decent amount of crossbows and knights. So he could start putting a little bit more pressure against Ganji this time around. And as a Bull player was kind of trying to save enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age, this is a good opportunity for Capoch, as that's going to represent 1800 resources Ganji is going to spend going up to the next stage as opposed to going for defensive units. And it could be really good. At the same time, Ganji does have 2 manas left over here, which might be enough actually to clean out Capoch's units if Capoch is not careful 100% of the time. The only thing that we are kind of missing for Ganji to defend himself against Capoch's army is something against these knights. He does have his own knights, and actually he does have more knights compared to Capoch, but as long as the red players got the crosses over here, it shouldn't be possible for Ganji to get too much pressure going with those knights. So yeah. PLH will be here for Ganji soon. And this is what I'm talking about. Capoch gotta pay attention. Ganji's got the manuals. Actually be able to finish building the castle, I think. Yeah, if he can bring the manuals over, he should be able to zone those crosses out. And he will. He will. Well done. Winning the Michi left hand for Capoch. Fantastic, the castle's up already for Ganji. Oh, there's a pause.
Yes.
Capoch is asking for a moment. Man. This, I really hope, doesn't happen too much, because if we have to wait for pauses on top of the games taking so long. Oof, boy. Just imagine. 500 stone, time for another castle. From Ganji, yeah, it's getting very close. Capoch, on the other hand, will finally be able to click up to the Imperial Age. He's behind by 2 minutes, though. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the situation is. Come on, boy. Let me take a look at the game. Yes. Capoch said ready. Ganji said yes. And Capoch unpaused the game and we got bugged. We need to restart. We need to restore. Yeah, they are restoring. Let's just go back. We shouldn't be missing out on too much though. We were 29-27. 29 minutes, 27 seconds into the game. I don't see the lobby though. Hey, check this out. Nico streamed. Sorry, he tweeted. I won. Beautiful. Yeah, just look at him celebrate. Nice. All right. I'm hoping that they are able to restore, actually. It'd be kind of rough if they didn't have the restore file or something. The game bugged out, imagine. $14, we are waiting for the guys. We're waiting for the guys to join the game. Okay. There's still a minute of spec delay. Damn, boy. Krasin is typing something. All right. $20 seconds left. Perfect. Let's jump into the game right away. Once again. Wow, Anonymous, thank you so much for the sling. $5 coming in. Moving that needle by 1% for the goal of a new audio setup. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Now let's see who's going to be the first to take credit for it. Alright guys, so Imperial Age is here for both players. Last time we saw, Capoch was only clicking up. Not only is Imperial Age here for both players, but Ganji actually has a bunch of trebuchets already out. He managed to get some castles out. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 castles. And we'll see the trebuchets putting pressure over here. Using stream donuts to buy stuff other than avocados. How dare you? Well, you gotta pick your battles, right? Don't worry, I'm still going to be buying avocados. I'm gonna use the sub money for that. They're going up in price, by the way, because they're kind of off season, apparently. Anyway, good defense. Yeah. We have throwing axemen, we have pikemen for Ganji. And once again, Capoch's civilization should be much better off from this point onwards, so he simply does have the more versatile civilization. He can go for arbalisters, which are going to wreck the throwing axemen. He can go for camels, which are going to wreck cavalry units. We see some of the camels sneaking right through the defenses from Ganji, straight to the back of his economy. Capoch is going to start getting some villagers down here. Beautiful. Whilst if you take a look at the south, we're going to see the Cavalier from Ganji coming forward. Regardless though, the trebuchets go down already for Ganji. For Capoch, sorry, to Ganji's own trebuchets. And this castle is going down from Capoch. Going out to the Imperialists later did come at a price. Capoch was simply unable to keep on going anymore over here. He's just going to give up on the castle as well. And he's got Arbalister coming up. So this is what I was talking about. Chinese are an incredible civilization. It's just going to take some resources to make the transitions, right? If you want to take advantage of your very wide tech tree. But once he gets there, he's gonna be fine. So now we see the Arbalister upgrade, as well as Chemistry, Bracer, everything's there for Capoch. He's good. Now he can start going for more Arbalisters, and that should be enough for him to take care of the throwing axemen over here. Plus with the camels, he's going to take care of any cavalry units. So army composition, in my opinion, is going to be better for Capoch, and it should be better for Capoch. Ganji, on the other hand, is going for the light cavalry upgrades, going for Blast Furnace. None of that's going to work against what Capoch already has to work with. And now we're going to see the red player go for extra siege, so we might see Cap Rams. As he's got the upgrade coming in over here, we're going to see Cap Rams, potentially Siege Ram coming in very soon. He's got the resources to go for it, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see for sure. No golden coming. It's going to be, I think, a little bit of a rougher position for Ganji, given that he's got less map control. Let's actually take a look at that. Oh boy, yeah. That's the last gold that's available to Ganji, and he's probably going to end up getting pushed away from here. That's 1,800 resources. Down the south, Capoch is collecting gold, and he's got 1,900 gold left over here to collect. So I am liking Capoch's position still a little bit better. If he ends up pushing Ganji away from here, that's going to be absolutely huge. So here comes Capoch. He's bringing the Arbalisters over. Should be able to take care of the throwing axemen over there. Plus the camels are making it all the way to the throwing axemen as well, which is not ideal for Ganji, of course, as he does not want to fight melee distance with the units he's got. Now he's gonna try and go for yet another castle over here in front of the castle, so that in front of the gold, sorry, so that he can secure the extra resources. Taking a look at what Capoch's got to work with over here. He is looking strong, but we're not going down to Arbalisters. Throwing axemen should be going down to Arbalisters, and the Camel Riders over here are an incredible meat shield. And here come the Rams. He's got the Siege Ram upgrade already. Doesn't that get him pushed away though? As the castle comes up, Camels did get shredded by the throwing axemen in the end. The old-fashioned it's arena, but we play arena on it anyway. Yeah. The Franks give bombard cannons? Yes, they do. They do indeed. So you could go for that. We're gonna see actually a bombard cannon already queued up from Ganji. Up in the north. Yeah, the second siege workshop coming forward from Capoch is just gonna try and breach through, right? Fortunately, he's on 200 population, so he cannot really queue too many rams. Actually, he's queuing the rams, he's just cannot really produce them too much. Narson came in for Ganji, yes. Just going to be good for the throwing axeman. But I'm not really sure, yeah, how good that's going to be in general. As long as Capoch is paying attention to his own units, he should be able to take care of the throwing axeman over here. So we'll see. Surprised not going for Halberd here. Yeah, throwing axeman alone over here seemed kind of sus. They're holding on really well though. And now like our fantastic meat shield from Ganji. As long as Capoch can keep on producing more Arbalesters, he should still be in a better position. As you can see, the 30 X-Men over here are starting to run out a little bit. And Gingerbeard, thank you so much for the resub. 26 months. How are you doing? I hope you're doing all right. Thank you so much for the resubs. Very much appreciated. Capoch is still looking stronger, mind you. 20 population versus 165 or so right now for Ganji. Yeah, fantastic shots over here from Ganji. I'm really sure Capoch was not paying attention over there. I think he might have been paying attention up in the north. Yes! All's good, the voice sounds strong as ever. It's not quite there yet, but it's probably 90% there, so it's good enough to cast for sure. At the very least, and it seems like I'm going to need it today. After all, 4 hours for the first series of the day, and we still have 3 more to go. Yeah. That's gonna be something. There we go. Beautiful. There are a bunch of villagers still up though. From Capoch up in the north, going for extra stable, so he'll try to keep on raiding around. There's a Gingerbeard here. Yes. Yes, Mr. Whitebeard. You have met your match. It's happy to be back to watching some of your stream. Well, thank you. It's appreciated. How much gold does Ganji have left? I don't think either player's got gold left. They were on a very small amount of gold, and Ganji, he's got 75, so basically no gold. From this point onwards, it's just going to be trash. And of course, we get much better trash for Capoch. He's going to have light cavalry with bloodlines compared to the extra HP the Franks get for free, which is not quite as high as bloodlines. Capoch is going to have also fully upgraded skirmishers if he wants to go for ranged trash units as well. And Ganji, basically the only thing he's going to have that's fully upgraded for trash is Halberdier. So it's a little bit of a struggle for Ganji over here for sure. Capoch is still putting a lot of pressure up in the north though. Bombard cannons though? Well, if he can hold on to the bombard cannon, that's going to be good, but it's very expensive. I don't think he will be able to replenish this if he lost them. So he's got to be extremely cautious, and I think he's probably just going to be utilizing them defensively. Either player investing in monks is quite strange. Oh yeah, for the relics, for sure. At the very least, one will be good, right? So Capoch does have a monastery on the right hand side at least. So he's thinking of it, he's just not queued it up yet. And now he doesn't really have the lead, so he's gonna have to use the market. Ganji, on the other hand, I'm not really sure actually. He doesn't really have one on the right hand side. Doesn't have one on the left hand side, so it doesn't seem like he is going for it. There we go. Yeah, the fifth one is over here, and then the other one is over here. So both players get access to 2, almost guaranteed, right? And then the fifth one's going to be up in the center contested. That is a nice knife though from Ganji going after the trebuchets. Very, very expensive units. Very, very hard to replenish at this point. And still, no monks queued up whatsoever from Capoch. Never hasn't been casting for long. Maybe? I've been casting since 1 year before D came out, right? Came out 2019, 2018. Man, it's been 4 years. Can hardly believe it. Actually, since 2019. Like the start of it or so. Much longer before the E came out. Yeah, I think it was like towards the end of 2018 or so. There we go. So it's going to be 4 years of casting. Nice cleanup over here. And Genji's gonna keep on trying to raid around. Bull players are getting to 200 population. It's kind of rough though. Doesn't seem like the game is going to be over particularly soon. The one thing that I do like for Capoch is that he does have more space for military, whilst Ganji, on the other hand, he's got more villagers, and he's been struggling to keep his economy going as strong as Capoch's. If you take a look, both players have queued up a nasty amount of light cavalry, but Capoch still has a much stronger economy to work with, while still being able to go for 30 extra military units. So if he's able to hold on just fine, he should be the one getting the better rates going. Basically, it's going to have more pop space for military. So yeah, siege rounds coming out. I don't know how he's going to afford this. Does he? Oh, he finally got the relic in. Is he going for a monastery on the left? He's not going for the monastery on the left, and he's not going for the relic at the center. Meanwhile, Ganji has not gone for a relic whatsoever. So yeah, Capoch literally pulling resources out of thin air over here. Manages to get a very scary amount of arbalesters up, plus sea trams coming out. Yeah, he keeps on going for more and more light cavalry. Production potential seems like it's kind of lagging behind for Capoch a little bit though. He's got a good amount of light cavalry queued up, but it's taken some time for him to actually get the units up. It doesn't seem like he's got enough stables. The ones that he had up in the north already got destroyed. He's got some over here still outside the walls, but Genji's just going to chill. When space walls one tile further behind, even leave a one tile gap in between each wall layer so that the ramps are not quite as effective. Yeah, I can do that. Let's see, Capoch's going once again for more siege. He's got 4 siege ramp, he's got 3 trebuchets. And we're gonna cast it down over here now. He's got a nice meat shield against the throwing axemen, so these arbalesters can finally work out of something. Light cavalry coming in. Citron might have gone down, but the castle's crumbling anyway. And there we go. Here comes Capoch. Beautiful. Two of the strongest civilizations for Arabia 1v1 over here. Facing it off. Capoch is just looking better over here as he increases the production capacity for his military, going up to about 10 stables or so. Looks like cavalry are going to be coming out significantly faster. He does not lose in most of the trebuchets though, so that's going to be a pretty expensive loss for Capoch, and he's going low in resources now compared to what he used to have. But he still has about 30 or so light cavalry queued up. Ganji, on the other hand, he's queued up 105 light cavalry. Who is winning this game? Nobody's winning. We're all losing, and it doesn't seem like this is going to finish anytime soon. This is going to be the first time ever since I started including ads into the stream that an ad is going to be played out because on its own, because the game's too long and we didn't have enough buffer before. So in about 2 minutes, an ad's going to start automatically, apparently. But yeah, it doesn't seem to me like... Oh, wait a moment, actually. I was able to snooze it. Alright, never mind then. Everyone's losing. Never mind, you're not going to see an ad. I was able to snooze it for a little bit. How many years left? I'm not really sure how many years. Let me actually take a look at the game. 168. I believe it's meant to be like an hour and 15 minutes if I'm not mistaken. So if this just goes, if this just gets down to score, Ganji's looking stronger. Even if the KD is a little bit better for Capoch. I think probably because of the fact that Ganji has been losing for the most part trash units and he's been able to keep the third axeman alive. So Ganji might end up actually winning game number 1 just by score lead. He's got a 1000 score lead over Capoch and he's roaming around, raiding. Actually increasing the lead potentially. He's gotta be careful because Capoch plays defensively over here and Ganji just starts throwing units into Capoch's base, then he won't really be able to do too much. Yeah, you see, and the score is actually kind of closing. The score gap over here is closing up quite a bit. 800. So I am not the biggest fan of Ganji playing aggressive over here. I feel like it would be much better for him if he was able to play defensive instead. He's got 45 walls coming in. Just going for the upgrades. Just trying to speedrun the upgrades. He's in 200 population while Capoch's economy is finally catching up to him. Or lack of economy, rather. Is finally catching up to Capoch. He's got only 5 like cavalry queued up. So, yeah. At this point in time, we are close to 1 minute and 5... to 1 hour and 5 minutes, rather. I'm gonna take a look at what the counter is looking like once we get to 1 hour and 5 minutes, given that when we were 1 hour into the game, there was 150 years or so left, I think. So yeah, if we are down to 100 years... 121 years. So I think it's probably going to be more like an hour and 20 minutes, the time limit. Isn't it? Well, kind of seems to be the case. Anyway, Capoch is coming in with trebuchets once again. Still struggling to keep up in population. Yeah, and Ganji. He's got almost twice as many farmers compared to Capoch and still has over 100 light cavalry queued out, which is just remarkable. He's canceling many of the light cavalry in order to sell some food, get some gold back, and hopefully go for some gold units. He's got another trebuchet queued up. Interesting. 12 years a minute? Oh, that seems about right. So it's going to be an hour and 15 minutes in the end. You're correct. Beautiful. Genji's score lead just increases. He's doing it. He's doing it. Yeah. Close to 2,000 extra points now. And Capoch is struggling big time to keep up with production. Genji's not risking the gold units, by the way. He's just going to send light cavalry forward. And this is huge, guys! That's a lot of light cavalry over here, trying to get the villagers down. Capoch is just going for TCs, just trying to inflate his score however he can. But unfortunately, it won't be enough. Ganji is simply offsetting for the extra buildings that Capoch is going for by getting villagers down, by producing military units, by being significantly higher population. And this is about the point I would say Capoch needs to consider calling the GG, because from this point onwards, it's very unlikely he'll be able to catch up. So yeah, despite Chinese, in my opinion, being a better civilization in the later stages of the game compared to Franks over here in this particular matchup anyway, Capoch's economy was never strong enough for him to really sustain his military production. So while he was able to keep up early on, the longer the game went, the harder it was for him to keep up queuing units, and Ganji started getting significantly ahead. So now we are in a situation where Ganji's on 200 population, basically locked, and Capoch is on 125 population, struggling to get past 130. And we are kind of close to the end of the game. Still a 2,000 or close to 2,000. 1,800 score lead for Ganji, and Capoch is going down to, yeah, 120 population, right? Ganji's doing a really good job protecting the trebuchets as well. Now he's got to come forward. Yeah, the walls were important as well. Ganji was able to get the walls up. Even though Capoch was able to sneak in over here and start going for stables in the back, it was not enough, and Ganji was still able to close everything, and Capoch kind of remained open. So yeah, that also made a big difference, of course. We have one trebuchet, two trebuchets over here still. Alright. There's basically no time left. Capoch is not calling it still. But yeah, he should. I want to see 1 hour 14 minutes 59 seconds call. Yeah, I don't know what Capoch's prospect is for this game, honestly. He's struggling to even stay up on 120 pop, so. There are 3 minutes left of in-game time. I'm taking a look at the countdown, and it's 32 years, 31 years, going down to 30 years right now, and 2 minutes and a half left. There's a 100 population for Capoch. And it's over. It's over. The score lead is increasing right now for Ganji as well. So, with Capoch finally calling the GG, 1 hour and 30 minutes into the game, Ganji ends up getting game number 1. And I'm telling you, how are we going to get through 4 series like this? 1 hour and 13 minutes long game when the game's been over for the last, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. This is gonna be so rough. Especially if this is a full set, that's just going to be so rough. We are 5 hours into the stream and just the first game into set number 2. Anyway, KD is very, very close for both players. From what we could see, economy is stronger for Ganji. That's end up collecting, what is that going to be? About 9,000 extra resources, right? Which makes sense. His economy was much stronger. He was able to queue up more units. He was much better able to defend himself with the walls up, while Capoch struggled against the raids. So let's go back and yeah, now I'm just letting you know. There we go. Welcome everyone then to game number 2. We're gonna be switching Ganji over to blue once again. I think this is the same we had before, right? Is it the same? I think it's the same we had before. Capoch in red and Ganji in blue. I think so. Well, regardless. For game number 2, it's Magyars versus Huns, and this is Atacama. This is a very common civilization matchup to see on a map like this. Not necessarily on Atacama per se, but usually on maps like Four Lakes or Cross, because of the lakes at the corner over here. But yeah, on Atacama, it's very common to see Magyars, for instance, and Huns are going to be a very strong civilization over here. So this combination of Atacama and corner lakes is actually going to be pretty good for both these civs. Predictions? Let's enable predictions, yes. That's just the outcome from game number 1. Ganji comes out on top, so let's enable predictions for game number 2. Same options, same order. 5 minutes still, and the predictions are open right now, so go for it. I like to see YouTube invest in making a streaming platform to keep a grip on relevancy. It's an actual discovery and easy to get on use platform rather than streaming just being for people with an existing audience. Well, that's kind of difficult, right? I imagine if it was simple, Twitch probably would have made it already. Discovery is pretty bad on streaming only platforms. I don't know. Anyway. Ganji. You're betting for Ganji? Predictions are on for 4 minutes still. For 4 minutes and 10 seconds or so. So yeah.
Timo.
There you go. Capoch is making a play for the center wood. Boy, he sent a bunch of villagers over here. That must not be too efficient. And Ganji's going for the center, but he seems to be going a much more measured way. Yeah, okay, he sends some extra villagers. Alright, it's gonna be about 8. But this is not good. This cannot be good for Capoch. What's going on? Capoch is struggling today. And yeah, Ganji's doing a really good job. He's gotta be careful over here not to take too much damage with the scouts from the archers. But if he can clean this up, that'll be ideal for him. Although by the time he is done fighting over here against the spearmen are going down to the scouts. And he might actually be able to get the archers down over here. The tower does come up though. So Ganji's gotta bail from here. Doesn't seem like he's going to. Wow, he's baited the tower fire with the scouts. He was able to reduce the archer count by quite a bit. Only 3 archers left over here for Capoch. Well done. Good in control for Ganji for the most part. Maybe not the best over here, mind you. But yeah, he's been playing a really, really good game for the most part. However, Capoch will be the first player to click out to the Castle Age. He has been collecting some fish from the right-hand side pond. Meanwhile, Ganji is not going for either the left or the north ponds himself. So it's kind of giving away the possibility of extra economy. And Capoch is already taking advantage of it. He already has enough resources to click up to the castle, so he's gonna be on his way up as soon as he realizes. There we go. A minute of idle TC time for Capoch. Not the best. There we go. Might this be a little bit of an overextension from Ganji? He does end up getting some good kills over there though, and he still has 2 archers. Plus the scouts. The scouts are pretty decent HP. So he's going after the archers from Capoch. Capoch cannot really defend himself successfully over here. Ganji's paying attention. Should be going after the villagers over here and try to ignore the archers. But he does not, so he ends up losing most of the units, and there's only 1 scout and 1 archer over there. Now there is a second group of units coming over from Ganji forward. And once again, it's going to be scouts and archers. While Capoch will be in the castle significantly sooner. He does have a second stable coming up, so it's going to be a play for knights, while Ganji, on the other hand, is just only now going to be able to click out to the castle age. But he struggled big time to make use of the units. He's been producing significantly more army compared to Capoch, and right now he does have a stronger military count, but he hasn't really gotten anything to show for it. Only 1 villager kill over here for Ganji so far into the game, and you know, 1 minute and a half of idle TC time. He's going up to the castle age whilst having only 1 extra worker. So by the time he gets to the castle age, Capoch is going to be ahead by 5 villagers or so, or 5 workers, right? Plus Capoch did manage to get another dock on the left hand side, so we're gonna see more fishing ships coming out over here. And Ganji, as per usual, not really going for any of the dock, for any of the ponds over there. No docks whatsoever. Yeah, and that means it's pretty good overall for Capoch and his economy. There you are. By the way, Nomad, you said that you had adblock slash ublock. Which adblock are you using? ublock origin? Let me know because I'd like to know. I think it might be working for me as well. I don't think I'll be getting too many ads on Twitch. Anyway, with the Castle Age here already, Capoch is going for a second TC, so his economy is going to get even stronger, while Ganji is getting that third stable. Third stable up! 1 TC full push coming in from Ganji, and I love to see it. I feel like it's the only thing that he'll be able to go for over here that might give him a chance to take game number 2, because Capoch's economy is on its way to become so much stronger compared to Ganji, much stronger compared to the current situation. Yeah, and Ganji knows about docks over here, but he cannot do anything. So he should know how far behind his economy is going to be very soon, and he's got to go for 1 TC full pressure. So I like the triple stable night production. He's getting to a pretty decent number pretty quickly, although at the same time Capoch is also going for double stable production himself while still retaining both DC's production going. So Capoch is looking pretty good actually. He's got 9 extra villagers. That's going to be enough already for him to keep both DCs working, so basically he should be getting significantly ahead now in military as well, if he's able to keep the stables working too. So Ganji's playing catch up. He's behind the military, he's behind the economy. Not a position you want to find yourself in. You usually want to be at the very least ahead in one of those regards. There we go. Beautiful. Conversions coming in now from Capoch. He cannot really land the conversions at all. But he still has enough defensive knights over here that it's not possible for Ganji to push through. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Ganji will really have the ability to come back into this game at all. Capoch is just playing it really well. From being the only player going for docks over here to being the first player to the Castle Age into extra TCs and still being able to hold on to a stronger military count, Capoch has just played this one close to perfection, and Ganji finds himself right now in a situation where he's gonna be reliant on Capoch making mistakes for him to be able to come back. And it doesn't seem like Capoch is going to do any of that. Instead, he's just gonna keep on working his economy. He's gonna keep on producing villagers. He's gonna keep on going for extra military with knights and monks now queued up as well. He's going to reset the HP of his army, and he's even going as far as to add a 4th TC. So it's really good. It's really good. The 1 knight left from Ganji, Capoch realizes very low HP, so he's actually getting the knight down with villagers. Well done. So what is the plan right now for Ganji? He doesn't really have any knight production anymore. Instead, he's going for monks, and he's got double monasteries. This transition, you would expect it to help him quite a bit, as being behind, one of the best things you can do to catch up once again is get conversions, as you're going to be taking units away from your opponent into your own ranks. But we'll see if he can clutch it up. Which is not interested in taking an engagement over here, but he does have his own monks over there though, so he can go for the conversions himself as well. However, he's going to end up losing 1 knight to the conversion over there. Only 1 though, and all these monks are going down. That is a huge engagement for Capoch. That is an incredible value he got out of that one. A single conversion, he ends up taking 6 monks instead. And now Capoch cannot really do much of anything. Markets is likely going down. not right away. So the monks over here from Capoch are going down as well. But yeah, if you take a look at the military count right now, Capoch is on almost 3 times, actually on higher than 3 times the military count compared to Ganji with 30 versus 7. Over 4 times the military count. And this is going to be GG right there. Ganji calls it. In game number 2, it's going to go in favor of Capoch, which means that we are going to have a 5-game set guaranteed. And boy, oh boy, it's looking like it's going to definitely be a longer one. So let's go and take a look at the achievements. What do we get? We're going to see for military a nice KD for Capoch, 3-2. For economy, we're going to see a stronger economy for Capoch with 1600 extra resources collected, which is going to pay for the extra TCs, the extra farms, whatever, even the fishing ships. So it was pretty good for him overall. A much stronger work account, of course, and then from this point onwards, was just going to keep on getting one-sided in favor of Capoch. So, well played. Let's go back. Welcome you guys, everyone, to game number 3. Once again, we're going to be switching Ganji over to the blue color, so Capoch will retain the red color. Alright, so now if you do hashtag viewers, you should get the information, but I don't think the viewership is going to be quite as high. It was close to 19,000 or so in the previous set, I think in game 7 if I'm not mistaken, but I think for now it's probably going to be significantly lower. Regardless though, let's see. Ganji is gonna start bumping archers already. Archers! He's playing Bulgarians. And he's going for double archer ranges. What kind of mind games is Ganji trying to play over here? Capoch is going for the second archer range. He's gonna be paying less. He's gonna be paying 10% less per archer. And they are going to scale so much better in the later stages of the game, so it's pretty good for Capoch. Regardless, stables coming up on the left hand side for Ganji. Yeah, and that I like a little bit better, man. What's going on over here? What was the archer play all about? Come on, Ganji. He does have still archers and skirmishers coming out though. This is the game for the fuel age for Ganji. There is no way he'll be able to scale this in the castle age. So yeah, and the problem once again is that he's up against Maya, so we're going to have a stronger economy. And they can scale their archers so much better, of course, in the castle age onwards. They do get crossbows and whatnot. So I'm not really sure about Ganji's choice over here. Alright. It's probably going to end up getting cleaned up over here. Capoch is getting a much better trade. Some skirmishers are here though, still from Ganji, so he might be able to get some of the archers down from Capoch, but Capoch's got the scout, Eagle Scout. So he can zone the skirmishers out a little bit, and if he adds a few skirmishers into the mix himself, he should be able to push Ganji outright.
Shot it.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely fantastic push over here from Ganji, and he kind of has to make it work. Might end up pushing the villagers away. Oh boy, we're getting a villager down over here. Very low HP, mind you. There are only skirmishers over here from Ganji. Still though, Capoch, he's got a defender's advantage over here. He's baiting the skirmishers with the archers, but then he's got his own skirmishers over here, plus the archer ranges, so he might be able to clean this up. Keep in mind, the scouts over here from Ganji will make it significantly harder for Capoch to just utilize skirmishers. So he does end up bringing a few villagers into the mix over here. But that's also going to result in 2 villagers going down from Capoch. And that's going to be a total of 4 villager losses for Capoch so far. And Ganji is still behind the villager count because of the copious amount of idle TC time he's messed up so far. 2 minutes and 48 seconds of idle TC time for Ganji. So getting those villagers does nothing for him. Absolutely nothing. Well, other than just kind of wasting resources for Capoch, who had to pay for the villagers, but yeah, this is not good. You would be expecting Ganji to get a nice lead at the stage already. But damn, that's not the case at all. Nice defense. Capoch does end up taking a few extra losses though. 6 villager losses so far. And the villager count still the exact same for both players as Ganji keeps on racking more and more idle TC time. There we go. Yeah, and the scouts over here from Ganji are actually getting some good damage down. Might end up cleaning up most of the skirmishes over here. Well, not quite. Especially as we still have some archers over here from Capoch. He does end up taking the scout down over there. There is only 2 scouts left over here for Ganji. He's coming in, trying to get to the back. And Capoch doesn't really have any weak villagers over here. Most of the weak villagers he's got there are going to be just forward. So he cannot really do too much over there. I guess if he just keeps on roaming around, there's going to be a point where he'll be able to target the villagers forward once again. And there are some weak villagers over here. As a matter of fact, there are some very weak villagers over here. He might end up getting a few extra picks. He's going after the castle age though, Ganji that is. And Capoch is getting very close to having enough resources. Yeah, Ganji cannot do anything anymore. Not with the scouts anyway. So it's just chilling back home. He's got a second stable coming up, and obviously this is just going to be a transition into full knights. There is no way he can keep on going for more ranged units unless he was trying to make a play for skirmishers. But yeah, knights are going to be pretty good, especially as he's got a lead to the castle age compared to Capoch. He's going to have a very significant head start as Capoch is only now gathering enough resources to quick up to the castle age. He's behind by a full minute and 18 seconds or so. There we are. Nice. Good push from Capoch. Score switching back and forth. And Ganji doesn't really have too many militarians, and by too many I mean military to speak of. He's got just the 1 archer and the 1 skirmisher. So his fate over here kind of depends on how well he's able to make use of the knights coming out. While Capoch, on the other hand, well, Capoch's already on 14 archers, right? That's going to be the 15 coming out, and he'll be able to go for blocking arrow and the crossman upgrades right away. However, he doesn't really have anything forward anymore. He's just roaming around and going back home. Which means that he's just going to be confined to playing defensively. If he's got the pikeman upgrade coming up sometime soon, plus the crossman over there, he should be able to defend against knights indefinitely. As he already managed to get a decent amount of spearmen over here. He's going to have the 8th spearmen coming out. So the pikeman upgrade is going to make that an incredible meat shield for the crosses to work out of. And Ganji, well, he's going for a 4 siege workshop. He's trying to keep pressure up. Let's see. There we go. The pikeman upgrade is coming out for Capoch at the same time as he's going for blocking arrow and for the crossman upgrade. So he should be well suited to defend himself against Ganji's push, and Ganji Despite having 2 stables, only able to produce from 1 at a time. Struggles to keep up. The second TC is coming out for Capoch on the back. Anyway. Nice push.
Shot it.
Here comes Capoch. Has gone from playing defensively to trying to put some pressure. Let's see if he's got a university coming up. If he could get ballistics, that'd be incredibly valuable. He doesn't have a university yet, and not a university on the way. So now I'm curious. I wonder what the viewership is like for this set. Somebody should do hashtag viewers. Lowercase. No capitalization. Did we know predictions for game number 3, by the way? Oh shoot, we didn't. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Thank you, C-Deep. So about twice the viewership in the previous series. Although it doesn't say right now how many people are watching Twitch and how many people are watching YouTube, but I would imagine that some people are still casting on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact that some people are still streaming on YouTube. Nice shot! That is a huge one from Ganji. Fantastic ground attack. RPC on the way for Capoch. This is kind of looking like game number 2 in a sense. Capoch is going for economy over here while still staying ahead. In military count by quite a bit, 40 to 15 military units. Second DC up. Go. Still nice pressure from Ganji, mind you. He holds on to the score lead for the time being. But here comes Capoch, pushing villagers away from the village. Still no university though. This is hurting him quite a bit because otherwise he would have been able to snipe so many extra villagers. Notice, Ganji ends up losing 1 over here, but that could have been so many more over here, especially as Ganji was kind of late to react as well. Nice defense for Capoch though. Yeah, it's got the monks. Well done. We are getting a lot of extra idle TC time for Capoch, but that's because of his extra TCs not producing at all times. He's managed to scrap enough stone together to go for a castle as well. We're gonna see a forward castle coming up. From Capoch, there we go. Beautiful.
Shot it.
Here we are. And the castle's coming up no matter what, so Capoch will be able to start going for pulled archers, and that'll leave him in a very good position. There's a TC coming up in front of the castle as well. Going for pulled archers means that Capoch should find himself in a position where he'll be able to keep on raiding around, and much more effectively so compared to what he can do with just crossbows. Especially if he doesn't go for ballistics ever, the pulled archers are going to be much better as they can close the gap, the distance against villagers or any unit that they might target. So much more easily, so yes. There we are. Nice, man, a sniper over here from Capoch. Boy, oh boy, is Ganji struggling big time this time around. Notice that Capoch is going to start pumping the pulled archers already, so he already, yeah, starts putting pressure on the right hand side as well. And Ganji, he doesn't want to keep on going. Now his villager count was pretty good, and the score lead for Capoch was kind of substantial, but I feel like Ganji could have kept on going. He decided to call the GG over here though instead, and Capoch is going to end up taking game number 3, 24 minutes and 48 seconds into the game. We're gonna take a look at game number 4 in a moment. Let's go and take a look at the achievements first though. What do we get? First off, for military, it's going to be a very close to 3 to 2 KD ratio for Ganji still though. He ended up taking the worst end of the deal, especially given how much pricier his military units were compared to Capoch's. We're gonna see for economy a stronger economy for Capoch as well by quite a bit, and this is something that you're just expected to see from Mayans. For society, Capoch did manage to get a villager lead a few times, and even though Ganji was able to get the villager lead himself a few times, it was never quite as good. Of course, against Mayans it's pretty hard to keep up. There we go. And welcome everyone then to game number 4. Once again, predictions are open for about 4 minutes still. Option 1, Ganji. Option 2, Capoch. For this one, we have the Bull. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting one, of course. It's shaped like a bull. You can see in the minimap as well. And the players are going to begin on top of the bull's head. So, kind of surrounded by the horns. On the right hand side, Ganji is playing Incas. Capoch is going to be playing Berbers on the left hand side. And the archer range is already up for Ganji over here. Meanwhile, Capoch is actually going for archers himself too. Fletching is coming in already for Capoch. Ganji, not so much. This should be a fairly aggressive map because of the players being so close. However, there is also the possibility of playing for economy over here. And Capoch, as we have seen already in the past, is going to take advantage of that every time that he's got the option for us. He is going to be the first player and the only player to go for a dock on the left hand side. He's taking advantage of the pond here. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, Ganji is not gone for the same himself. So from this point onwards, Capoch is going to start getting ahead in villager count, or at the very least worker count rather. As long as he's the only player with extra economy production, right? And Ganji, on the other hand, seems like he's just going to stick to 1 TC, villager production, full push over here. Eagle Scouts, skirmishers, archers, and Capoch. He's just playing defensive, as a matter of fact, taking the time to go for the walls towards the edge of the map. And he'll be completely fine. If Ganji wanted to make anything happen from a different angle, he would have to go all the way around the right hand side, around the horns, around the ears, through the head, over to the left hand side, and all for what? Well, probably for Capoch to just get 2 houses over here and be completely closed. I've not seen this map played a lot. Is there any merit to the idea of, say, Capoch walling out to the edge? It seems you took just as long to type that up, to type that out as it took for him to actually get the walls up. But yeah, they can go for it. It's not cheap, mind you, but it's going to buy Capoch some peace of mind. Plus, being the only player actually going for water is going to leave him in a very good position if he can protect his economy on land too. So he'll be the first player to go up to the castle age. Meanwhile, Ganji, on the other hand, not even close. I'm not really sure what Ganji will be able to do, honestly. Yeah. Ganji is going for something similar, but he's not going to the edge of the map. He's connecting the horn to the head. Meanwhile, up in the north, Ganji will start collecting some of the food over here. There are a lot of options. You have plenty of shore fish up in the north to collect from. You have plenty of fish on the left-hand side and right-hand sides to collect from as well. You can go with villagers, or you can send the fishing ships. Fishing ships are going to be usually better because you cannot really go for a meal inside the pond. And then inside the bull, we're going to have plenty of extra gold in stone. So the layout of the map over here is going to make it so that it's a little bit harder to get to the gold, simply because you need to go around the head, or at the very least, that's the case until you're able to chop through. Once you're able to chop through, then it's going to be a little bit easier access. As you guys said earlier, this is kind of a wasted opportunity. If we had just red trees, this could have been called the Red Bull. But anyway, it is what it is. Think Berbers could die to full castle eagles? No? They could, yeah. Genji's going out to the castle. Not really sure how he managed to click up faster. He ended up selling the stone, so that's going to be some of it. Yeah, he balanced his economy with the market, I'm pretty sure. So he ended up clicking out to the castle edge a little bit faster compared to Capoch. But Capoch is going to be there in a moment. He's got scale barding armor and bloodlines coming up. 2 stables right now. Meanwhile, Ganji, he should be going for extra barracks. He's got just the one though, so if he wants to make a play for eagles, this is definitely not going to cut it. Instead, he's going for a smush. And this is not what I would be expecting, but it might just work. With double monasteries coming up now for Ganji, if he's able to get a good amount of monks out, he's going to prevent Capoch from massing a decent amount of knights. Without enough knights, then Capoch won't really be able to do any damage for it. And of course, playing defensive against a smush is going to prove nothing but tricky for Capoch as well, so he's gonna have to make a choice over here. Whatever he goes for, it's going to be pretty tricky. As playing aggressive against monks over here is going to be pretty challenging, unless Ganji gets like extremely bad luck with the conversion times. And then making a play for defense over here is going to be pretty hard for Capoch, given the civilization he's up against over here. Ganji could potentially go for redemption. And convert any defensive siege that Capoch might go for, and it's just going to be very messy, so we'll see what we get. Ganji already has Sanctity coming up. Meanwhile, Capoch, he's got the Knights coming in. He's got triple stable though. Alright. Triple stable for Capoch, and he's going for it. He's got 5 already. He's going to end up cleaning this up for the most part. There are some spearmen left over here too, but against 5 knights it should not be enough, and he's doing a really good job keeping the spear count pretty low for the most part. 1 conversion connected over here for Ganji though, and there's another conversion coming up over here. He does end up connecting it, but there is a monk over here completely exposed, going down, and yes sir, the monk gets taken down. 2 conversions in 1 monk loss. Still gonna be better for Ganji. Yeah, Capoch's military count is starting to get kind of out of hand. So he's managed to snowball this in such a way that Ganji doesn't really have the ability to defend himself with just monks anymore. At the very least, he doesn't really have the numbers he needs. So for that, he adds a third monastery over here. And this is going to be a heavier YOLO for Ganji into the monk play. And Capoch, well, if he plays his cards right over here, might actually be able to get a pretty decent trade. We'll see. He's gonna need to get light cavalry, perhaps. Nice conversion. Ganji ends up taking the mangonel over there. Nice. Yeah, redemption before sanctity. Now he's got both. Second TC is already after Ganji. Third TC is on the way. You know, Capoch is still on a higher worker count because of the fish and ships he's gone for since earlier. And now he's got the second TC up himself, and he's going for the third TC. So he should be able to keep up at the very least Ganji, and most likely he's actually going to stay ahead. And we'll see. There's no attack sound though. Oh, I know what that is. No, there is attack sound. I'm just not hearing it myself. Voice Meter Potato is nagging me for a license. I already had bought one, but ever since I formatted my PC, it forgot about it. Anyway, let's push on the right hand side from Capoch. Getting a bunch of villagers down. Ganji going down to 53 villagers, 53 workers compared to 66. It's gonna be a respectable lead for Capoch already. Still nice pressure from Capoch on the right though. He managed to come in just as Ganji was coming forward. So yeah, he was able to get some villages over there before a DC could get dropped from Ganji at the center. However, Ganji with a 3 monastery play does manage to get a good amount of monks over here. He's got 12 monks, and if he plays his cards right, that might just be enough to completely convert Capoch's army. He's going after houses right now. This is really good. He's going for everything. He's converted some of the houses over here. That's actually not the case. He's not converted a house yet. He's just built this one. But here he comes. He's got rams. He's got monks. And here come the rams. That is a lot of monks. We'll see if he can lay conversions though. There he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the crossbows completely targeted over there. The ones that are not getting converted are going down to the manual shots, and in the end, he does end up cleaning up all the crossbows. However, we have 9 monks left over here, so he ended up losing 3. Now he's going after the knights over here. We'll see if he can actually land the conversion. He's going after 1, 2 knights over there. He's not going to end up connecting a single conversion. 1 is going to connect though. But the monks are still going down though. It doesn't seem like Ganji will be able to take advantage of the monks over here too well. Well, he managed to get the TC down. Now Capoch is going to replace it right away. And you know what? Ganji lost all the monks. He's got more coming up right now. 7 queued up. 3 already out. But Capoch was able to defend himself really well. And now he's getting the TC up over here once again. Damn. Did you convert the buildings to pre-charge the conversions? Easier picks on the crossbows? Yeah, he could have done that, but it's kind of risky because he's got just houses over here which are not going to be so hard to convert, so he runs the risk of actually converting the buildings. But it'll be good. It would have been good in any case. Yeah, exactly. Imagine you accidentally convert the building. If you have like a siege workshop or something like that, then maybe, I guess. Actually, is the conversion time different for different buildings? Or is it just my impression? I might be completely off over here. Maybe the siege workshop and the house convert at the same time. Or convert during the same range. Not 100% sure. Anyway. More monks going down over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monks going down for Ganji. Keeps on queuing a bunch more. Manages to convert 1. Manages to convert 2. Manages to convert 3, 4. Just 3. But yeah, you know what? Ganji's still ahead. At the very least, in military count, he's looking a little bit stronger. Just retest the monk before you get a chance to convert. What is the minimum conversion time for a house? You will need to know that. I guess some clowns are going to be better able to calculate that compared to some others, but every 5 seconds or so? Nice castle. Going for extra PCs now. It's going to be the 5th and 6th PCs for Ganji. Meanwhile, Capoch on the other hand still retains a nice villager lead while being on 4 PCs right now, which is the same count Ganji just had. Pretty good sneak from Capoch. Might end up getting some of the villagers here. He doesn't really have ballistics though, and from what I can see, he doesn't have a university, so those crosses are not quite as strong as they could be. Yeah. Nice. Which has to relocate the castle. He's going for it. The mountains over there, though, that could be really, really rough for Capoch. As a matter of fact, it could still be very rough. 171 HP left in the castle foundation over there, so now Capoch's gotta relocate it, and he will. .06 seconds for the retask. Nice. A TC on one bullseye, new one on the other 2. Pretty nice conversions coming up right now for Ganji. Yeah, he's landing many conversions over here. He's doing a really good job. Plus, he's got a castle coming up, but Capoch will get a counter castle up over here right away. And I don't think any of these monks actually has any fate left, right? Yeah, so those are going down. In the end, Capoch does end up coming out on top over here. He's got a lot of crosses over here to work with, and that castle's coming up, but it's coming out at a price. As many of the villagers are going down, the castles do come up for both players at the same time, and now we're going to see petards. Yes, sir. We see petards on the way for Capoch, but Ganji, he calls it GG. The moment Capoch gets the castle out, Ganji realizes he's been on the back foot for long enough over here, and Capoch ends up taking game number 4. For this to be a 3-1 set. So game number 5 is going to take place very shortly, and it's going to be match point already. Well, Ganji started very strong in game number 1. He's been struggling furthermore, and we'll see what we get for the next one. Let's play the predictions off. Let's take a look at the achievements and go back. By the way, you would have loved Vulcan. The temperatures were very Argentinian. I almost melted away. I don't know what gave you the impression that I actually like the Argentinian temperatures. I probably would have hated the temperatures, but I would probably have loved the bands. I think Ginger was there. I think Mirath was there. Oh, man. Yo! Flygon, thank you so much for the bits. Not sticking around, gotta hand out the stuff, but I hope this stream has been going well. Keep on rocking, thank you so much. It's been going well. And we're gonna keep on rocking for sure. After this game, if it goes in favor of Capoch, we're gonna be able to jump into the third set already. So we were just 6 hours into the stream. For economy, Capoch does end up collecting well over 5,000 extra resources. That's going to approach 6,000 extra resources, as a matter of fact, for the Argentina, and then for society. He does end up getting a substantial villager lead, especially towards the end of the game. But ever since he was able to get the dock up, he started getting ahead, and he never lost the villager lead. Or the worker lead, for that matter. So, well played. Let's go for it. And yes, Ganji's gonna be the blue color once again. Capoch is going to remain in red. Yeah, I agree with that, Bailo. I agree with that. It's all about the atmosphere sometimes, especially with these legendary bands. You know, times passed and not everyone's gonna be able to keep up. Some will. Some will do remarkably well. And I'm talking about Aerosmith over here, talking about Def Leppard. But some won't. And those who won't, you will go just for the experience. Yeah, not so much for the actual song execution, so to say. Anyway, what do we have over here? Game number 5. Let's enable predictions for this one. 5 minutes, guys. Predictions are on. Option 1, Ganji still. Option 2, Capoch. And there is a pause over here, so 5 minutes are going to be just fine, right? Should be. Regardless, though, for civilizations, Capoch is playing Tatars and Ganji is playing Khmer. This is very interesting because now Capoch is going to have Byzantine saved for potentially, what was it, Kawasan, was it that they still had available? Let me check. Yeah, he's gonna have Byzantines available for Kawasan, for instance, right? And yeah, and Ganji's playing with Khmer. So for these civilizations on a map like this, I'll be expecting Khmer to do a little bit better because of their different bonuses of not having to worry about building requirements, allowing them to save resources elsewhere, so they don't have to go for... Well, they already begin with the barracks, so I guess they're not really going to be saving too much over there. They pay for the stable, but anybody else would have been able to just go for the stable anyway, as they do not have to pay for the barracks, so maybe it's not going to be quite as good. If it were an Empire Wars, I probably would have liked Khmer over here on a map like this better, but an Empire War start, I guess the difference is probably not that big. Archenemy and Ann Wilson were my personal highlight picks. Is that so? Archenemy I would like to see live at some point. Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm not really sure the game got bugged. Let me check. I think it might be a restart. Is it? Yeah, apparently I'm not really sure what happened over here. Let's just go back. Apparently we're just gonna have to rejoin the game. There's about 15 seconds to spec delay or so. Yeah, they are restarting. It's not a restore, it's a restart. But since 7 so long, May Rex. That's going to be a possibility for one of the sets in later stages. Not later stages rather, but that's going to be a possibility for one of the sets after this one. I'm not really sure what they are going to do, but they said that there was the possibility of them having both series start at the same time, and then the casters can choose which one they want to cover. Or, alternatively, there was a possibility of starting both at the same time and then sharing one of those as record the games after the third one was over, right? But I don't know. Merciful Fate was awesome too. I haven't heard that one. Let me change the color once again. Ganji's gonna be blue. And Capoch's gonna be red because it's the restart. None of what we talked about for the previous game might matter over here. Although Ganji does have a stable and he's going for a archer range. Meanwhile, Capoch has the archer range and that's going to be about it. He's trying to get the walls up to the edge as well. This has just been a pattern for Capoch. He's just been playing defensive and for economy for the most part, and it's worked out pretty well. It seems like that's going to be what he's going for this time around as well, except that on this map you cannot really play defensive for economy while going for fishing ships because the lake's going to be at the center, right? So it's always going to be potentially contested. However, he will be the first player to go for the dock over here. Just gotta be careful not to lose the villager to the scouts, and if Ganji, yeah, places cards right, might actually be able to get the villager down over there and deny the dock, but he's going away. He's walking away. Beautiful. Fletching's up over here for Ganji as well. He's got just 2 archers though, but might be enough for him to take care of the spearmen. However, Capoch's got more archers coming out himself, and he's got Fletching already, so it's kind of rough for Ganji. Capoch is looking pretty good. Plus, those archers will scale very nicely once he gets to the castle age. If he goes for the crossbow upgrade, blocking arrow, he gets also thumb ring for free, which is great. And there are so many options that open up for Capoch once he gets to the castle age. Ganji. Well, Ganji's struggling right now a little bit. Capoch's military count's higher. HP pool is higher. He did manage to get the dock out, but he's not really going for any fishing ships. He's going for a fire galley. You know, a demolition raft over here could be very valuable, but yeah, just going for the fire galley instead, which can still be good, of course, and it's something you might want to open with. That's actually the second fire galley he was going for. But it's something you want to open with because you want to send the units forward and make sure that your opponent's not going for a counter dock. Otherwise, if you're just making a play for demolition rafts from the get-go, you might actually end up losing water, right? Regardless, though, pretty good position still for Capoch. He will be able to click up to the castle age in a moment, while Ganji, on the other hand, is trying to scrap enough resources together as well. And I think he should be able to. There we go. All right. Yeah, good reaction for Capoch. He's avoiding any pressure over here while still keeping all the villagers alive. So far, nil Eco KD. Overall Eco KD is looking a little bit better for Capoch though. 2-0, and now both players on the way to the castle edge. Although Ganji's got Capoch beat by a little bit. Interestingly enough, Capoch has clicked up significantly later and he's got a 3-villager lead, but he also has a much higher idle TC time. If he hadn't gotten quite as much idle TC time, he would be on a much better position right now. So it's a little bit of a struggle for Capoch, but yeah, he's still the only player going for water economy, so that's going to be free food for him. And Ganji's not particularly interested, by the looks of it, to go for any of that. There we go, Castle Edge is here for Ganji. Scale bar than armor. What's coming up? That was a misclick. He went for leather archer armor now instead. Sorry, powder archer armor. He's got the lead skirmisher coming up. But it was interesting though to see him cancel the armor upgrade because he does have a second stable over here. Just trying to upgrade the skirmisher so that they are not quite as vulnerable, I guess. But honestly, there isn't really too much for Capoch to defend himself with. So I probably would have preferred for him to still go for just scale bar than armor. But yeah, he still has blocking arrow on the way now. With powder archer armor, these skirmishers are going to be good. These are elite skirmishers now. Oh yeah. A man is about to go buy groceries and the wife yells, "Get a little milk," and if they have avocados, get 6. The husband comes back with 6 liters of milk and says they had avocados. Yeah, I heard that one before. With eggs though. Get a dozen of eggs, and if they have milk, bring 3. That's I think I read that one as a programmer joke, like a programmer goes to the grocery store. Anyway, pretty good pressure over here for Ganji. Should end up getting rid of all these crosses, and Capoch, well, Capoch is still going for more crosses himself. If he loses all 8 over here, still gonna be left on 11, so it's not like he's gonna be completely striped away from military units. Yeah, that works. I probably would have had the guy bring a lot more avocados though. But anyway. Nice defense for Ganji as well. Does have the second TC already up and he's going for the third TC. Meanwhile, Capoch has gotten the second TC up. But he doesn't really have a third TC on the way, and he's got just the dock up over here, which he's not really producing fishing ships with. So what is the plan for? Yeah, what is the plan for Mr. Capoch? He's going to start falling behind the economy over here if he doesn't do something. Oh, he does have the third TC now up on the left hand side. Okay, I like that a little bit better. From this point onwards, Capoch's civilization is really strong. He already gets 25% higher attack when fighting from higher elevation, and the map is covered in little bumps like this, and little elevations, little hills, little mounts. On top of that, he's going to have plenty of options too, with a very versatile kind of roster of units to go for. He can go for not just crossbows, but also knights. He can go for cavalry archers. He is making a switch to cavalry archers, which I like, but it's going to require more than 1 archer range production for him to get to a decent number. He does have 3 archer ranges, just not the production potential, or not the production capacity rather, in terms of resource income for him to saturate all 3 archer ranges. But it's a transition that I do like quite a bit. And Ganji, well, Ganji does have some options for this, namely Scorpions can be really good, especially because of the extra range that Chimera Scorpions get from the team bonus. But he's got to realize about Capoch's cavalry archer transition first. And I don't think he knows about it. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's got a siege workshop at all, does he? He doesn't. Yeah. See? I can hear this coon make a demo. Man, these in avocado pasta on Thursday. A shop had a discount on them, so I figured I'd give it a go. Avocado pasta? How do you do that? Dan donated $500 to Hera. Nice. Yeah. Pretty strong for the economy. The skirmishers are pretty good for Khmer, and stable units could be good so long as the cavalry archers don't get too numerous. Once the cavalry archers get a little bit out of hand from Capoch, then Ganji's gonna need to rely on the scorpions. But there are options for Capoch, at the very least. Sorry, for Ganji, at the very least, for the time being. We'll see if he can make use of them. Oh, but the crossbow stone coming over from the left-hand side. Capoch is coming in. Getting the villagers down. He does have ballistics now. So that's a lot of villagers dying over here. Wow. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Yeah, bunch of villagers going down. In the end, it's going to be 14-0 IKKD. Up until this point, though, that is. From Ganji. Or in favor of Capoch, rather. And then on the right-hand side, we have some cavalry archers, but he gets pushed away by Ganji, who's got skirmishers and knights. Fancy castle coming up for Capoch, which is great. This basically puts a stop to Ganji's push from the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, still going to be kind of exposed. But he's still collecting stone quite heavily, so he should be able to go for a second castle on the left-hand side, and then he's going to be completely fine. So Capoch is looking great, guys. And Ganji, he's struggling to make anything happen over here. Capoch's cavalry archer numbers are starting to get very high. He's on 21 right now. He's got a good amount of knights as well for a meat shield. See? Is Capoch older than the Lord? I mean, more mature than the Lord? I'm actually not really sure. I think they are probably about the same age. I think he might be 1 year older or so, or a couple months older. I think, isn't it like 37 for Capoch and 36 for Doubt or something like that? 2 years younger? Wait, what? Capoch is 2 years younger. Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that. Alright. Nice engagement over here. Should be going in favor of Capoch for sure. He did end up losing a lot of the cavalry archers, mind you. So whilst he does end up cleaning up all the units over here from Ganji, he's got only 13 cavalry archers left forward over here to war, which is not quite as good. However, he still has, though, the crosses forward. That's now getting a few extra villages down over here. They're really putting pressure in either in a lot of the economy from Ganji. There we go. More villages going down. And more villages going down over here as well. Nice pick. Beautiful. 1, 2 villages going down. 3 villages. For castle attempt from Capoch. He's got some cavalry archers on the right hand side. Gets yet another villager. And another one. 2 additional villagers over here on the right. 23-1 IKKD in favor of Capoch is just an incredible IKKD ratio. Nice, villagers going down on Capoch. Go. It's coming into the castle right now. There's nothing for Ganji to stop the castle with over here. He does have 1 knight left, but of course the knight's going down right away to the CA and knights from Capoch. red players paying attention to the cavalry archers as well, so he's keeping these alive. It's very important for him to keep this mass of cavalry archers alive as much as he can, because it's going to increase the punching power of this army by quite a bit. This, with the cavalry archers that he managed to salvage up, wow! Up in the north, that's going to bring his cavalry archer count up to 18, but Ganji calls a GG right there. Says well played, good luck in Heidelberg. And Capoch says GG, he makes it into the main event, guys! Capoch moves on to Red Bull Wololo Legacy. Ganji's gonna have to try again next week, and then once again, it's gonna be tough. Because this time around, he took on the Max, he took on Jordan. Next time around, the Max and Jordan are gonna be playing still, but then we are going to have, of course, many other players who I imagine were not able to sign up for the first qualifier, maybe for time reasons or whatever. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but we know that Ganji's got what it takes, at the very least, to get to the decider. We're gonna see if next weekend he's got better luck. Let's go and take a look at the achievements before jumping back out and waiting for the interview. KD is going to be above 3-2 for Capoch, very close to it, a little bit lower than that, but it doesn't matter. Ganji's economy was a little bit stronger, but it didn't matter in the end. Capoch's pressure was always very, very strong, and it was a big struggle for Ganji to hold on against that. Meanwhile, for Society, we see that towards the end of the game, Capoch started getting ahead in villager count, and this was just going to keep on increasing in favor of Capoch the longer the game went, so Ganji was kind of on the back foot over here. Regardless though, there are a few things that I need to do, so I'm just going to leave you guys with the interview, hopefully. And yeah, we'll be able to jump into the next one in a moment. I'm just going to go and prepare myself some tea. Be right back.
As well. And Ganji, probably one of the big dark horses of yesterday. How scared were you? How was your preparation facing Ganji? How much did you know before?
Well, close to zero. I was really happy that Jordan got knocked out because I was expecting him in the final stage. But after I started watching Ganji's games, I got a little scared, to be honest. So I didn't know what was going to happen today.
Oh, okay. So you watched his games. What was your main takeaway from him? Like, what did you think? How should you adjust to his playstyle?
Well, I thought that he played really aggressive, and one of the mistakes I saw the opponents of him doing was walling late. So my main goal for today was try to wall fast so I don't receive much damage, and then try to get faster to castle late or just adjust during the game mostly. But I knew he was a really good player in post-Imperial too, and he showed that during Arabia, because I even had a better seed there for late game, but I still lost. So I think he did really well that game and well in general.
Yeah, what do you think went wrong there on the Arabia game? Because it felt like you both had pop 200, you had Arbalest, you both went for light cav, he was running out of gold, and you had a really good setup.
Yeah, I think what went wrong is that his base was basically unbreakable, so he was really nice, and it was hard for me to break in, and my economy was very open there, so he took advantage of his ratings, and also he had the heal, the big heal, so it was hard to push for me, but I think like Chinese should win against France post-Imperial, but he did really well, so I got scared after losing that one.
But not that scared, because you went for Atacama, your home map, and then played Hans in an interesting fashion. Just defensive archers, then the double stable switch, and it felt really clean. How much do you think, like what happened, how you got ahead, and how much did the extra dock play a role in it?
Well, he still had a strong seed there. I mean, he had Magyars, which are really scary in Atacama. But I think, or I believe, Hans are better, and I just like, you expect the Magyars to go a lot of scouts very early, try to harass and stuff like that. If you defend properly and get the eco advantage with the dogs, then you're just gonna win the game, I think. So that was my game plan there.
Mm-hmm. And that worked out pretty damn well. Then we went into Moras, where he played lots of aggression early on. and it felt like he was on the verge of breaking you. Were you ever scared early feudal age when he had lots of scouts and lots of archers?
Yeah, well, that I actually shouted when I won that game because I was expecting to lose it. I mean, I knew he was almost for sure gonna pick Bulgarians. I usually practice other cities there. I never practice Mayans, but after seeing Mayans performing so well, like in the previous set with ACCM and Nikov, and then even Bars beating me with Mayans, I said, okay, what the hell? I'm gonna pick them, see what happens, and I expected lots of knights, siege, so I just try to defend. It's very hard to defend against Bulgarians early on unless you are fully walled. So I thought I was gonna lose that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you defended pretty well there. His economy suffered quite a bit with all the units that he built. Last game was Frigid Lake Khmer against Tatars. Was it all about the counterattacks in your early walling again, or how did you get ahead?
I think Tatars are just a better seed there. I mean, Khmers are strong too, but I feel like they don't have a clean way to clear the CAs. And Tatars with the early Thumbring can do a lot of damage. So it's good. It's nice to play Khmer there because you can just farm everywhere. But I still think that Tatars are better overall and better late game too.
Oh, interesting. So now you're going back to Heidelberg, and I have to ask you, like, what are you most excited for the big $200,000 tournament?
Meeting like everyone from last year again, and also meeting the new Latam casters that are joining us this year, which will be really fun. And I'm gonna try to qualify in H4 too, so it's still a busy month.
So basically, is like the next 5 weeks? I think the second or the last chance qualifier in AV4. Like the next 5 weeks will be full Age of Empires 4 for you.
I would say like until the 25th of September. Yeah, 4 weeks or a month, and then full H2 again.
Okay, in case you qualify for both, what happens?
I play both. I don't know.
And what are you focusing on?
I'm gonna focus on AoE 2 for sure. Like I just wanna try to qualify in H4 now because I've been playing lately and I like the game and I think I have some like not big chances, but I still have chances to qualify there.
Okay, the ideal Capoch run in AoE 2. What's your finish? What are you aiming for?
That's a good one. Well, I didn't thought yet because my objective was just qualifying now, but I would say trying to be top 8 again would be nice at least.
Yeah, with your performances like today, that's absolutely reasonable. Anyone having any other questions before I release Capoch? Are the people here? Seems like no questions. Oh,
Nili,
let's go.
What's up? No, I just wanted to say congratulations. Capochito, eres un cabroncete.
¡Qué grande, Mem! ¡Nos vemos allá!
Yeah. I was talking to him. I mean, I just wanted to tell you because I was asking also, I mean, Nili pretty much covered everything, but I noticed that Ganji was opening almost all the time stable, right? And then right away, archery range. Did they make this a little bit predictable and like a little bit easier for you to counter?
Well, I still have to scouting, because I need to be sure that he will open stable. But he did that every game yesterday, I think. So I kind of expecting him to open stable. But I feel like if you just set your walls and defend, you don't suffer so much damage. Like you can lose one villager or two, but he's investing a lot into scouts and then into scrims. And if you wall and just hold on, I think you should be in a better spot usually. So. I think I opened every game archery range first this today, right?
Well, also too, exactly.
Well, I mean, I was going to open civil first in Atacama, but not against Magiars. I feel like it's kind of a waste. So.
Okay. Just only wanted to point out that. Congratulations, amigo.
Thank you.
Have a good one, and see you in Heidelberg, Capoch.
Okay, see you, Nili. Good luck with the rest of the casting. Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks.